the return of the inspector task in Harbor, Quebec. Hello there everybody and welcome to another special episode of SnowRunner here at Opafet Gaming. I am the Opafet. Today we are doing the return of the inspector task, which is part of the Routier Solution Canada Inc contract. We were supposed to deliver 2 metal beams and 3 pallets of fuel, which is what we still have left to do for this task. We're picking it up at the Pétrole Quebec Oil Refinery and we're delivering it to the North Bridge site. This is the final bit of cargo for that particular task, and then we'll be done that and another section of bridge will be repaired, making it a little bit easier for us to travel back and forth across the map. Now we are driving in our trusty, powerful Kenworth 963, one of our main vehicles in our fleet. I do love this truck. Has a cargo slot for 3 pallets of cargo, and you can put that nice heavy-duty yellow crane on there to pick stuff up off of the ground if you need to. Anyhow, a very, very awesome truck. The only thing it doesn't have is the chains, but chains are only an issue when you're driving on frozen road or ice roads. On the lake here and through the snow, not a big deal. Now when you're coming along the bottom here, just go around this last little section. As you can see, it's a little bit of a dicey looking ice trap, I believe, and I do think that I fell in there one time before, so we always go around it and just, avoid it at all costs if we can. Now we've been working on this, fixing this particular part of the bridge for a little while now. We had to build a pontoon crossing and we had to drop off more equipment here. As you can see, we've got several vehicles from our fleet out here that have been working on this particular job. Now we've got to go across the pontoon, which is not always easy to do. I find it very difficult to drive across this thing. You pretty well have to keep your tires in the middle of it, or it's going to tilt the pontoon part that you're on to one side or the other, and I guess you could slip off. I haven't yet, but I've come close. See, as you can see, I'm a little bit too close to the right-hand side, and that dips that part of the pontoon down so far that you can't climb up onto the next one. Now it's a little bit easier. But as you can see, it bounces around quite a bit. You got to keep your truck in the middle, right in the middle. That's not always easy to do. I'm glad we only had to do this once here. We're going to make it through all right, I suppose. There's the last section of it. We got it made. Now we're going to head off to the right here, and we got a little bit of ice coverage that we gotta go over before we get to where we gotta drop off this fuel. Now there again, I always seem to be taking a different route on the ice, and it's not really a big deal. If you look, you can see where the solid parts is. Here you could have gone a little to the right or to the left if you want. The shiny black areas with the little white lines painted down on them usually show you that the ice is pretty solid. But not really a big issue, especially when you have a truck like the Kenworth. It's got such a long frame that if you do fall in with your front axle, your back axle will push you right back out again. Over here you gotta go a little bit slower. You got a big crack in the rocks and you don't want to fall down there too fast or hard and get a bunch of damage, so we're just gonna take it easy as we go through that part. And over here we decided to go through the middle of the ice for a change rather than sticking on the side. And as you can see where I'm driving, it's pretty solid. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue for the Kenworth. And I do believe as we're coming up around the corner here is where the drop-off location will be. As you can already see the black arrow on the yellow diamond pointing down on the screen, meaning that the drop-off area is close by. And I do believe it's just around the corner here. We should be able to see, well, a little bit further, I suppose. Not quite there yet. getting a little bit excited delivering this. I do believe this is one of our last bridges to fix, and then we will have all the main bridges fixed, and we'll be able to go back and forth a little bit easier, not have to use all the precarious detours that we've been using along the way. There's the bridge now. And we got it dropping off underneath the bridge, just on the other side there. Absolutely awesome. Love the video. I hope you enjoyed the video too. Maybe even got a little bit of a tip or a trick or a hint out of it. And yeah, I'm glad that you came and watched the video, and hope that you'll come back to OpenFed Gaming again real soon. In the meantime, we've been delivering 3 pallets of fuel on our Kenworth 963 over to the North Bridge site with me as your driver, the OpenFed.